We are studying a new series called Stapled as a Discipled. um, as a preacher, I always have good time doing so, preparing, actually doing preaching. But most another fun part of it is coming up with the title. And since we have a Korean-speaking church and English-speaking church, sometimes I come up with a Korean title first and then translate it to English. And sometimes I come up with the English title first and then translate it to Korean. But sometimes they just don't match. So what I had to do sometimes is, come up with something, new, something different. And I do the exactly same talk for Bali Church, the church that gathers here after us. Us, 11:30, 11:15, but I title the series 제자로 제자리로. It kind of rhymes. It actually means coming back as a disciple. Okay, 제자로 제자리로. Anyway, so I try to translate that to English title, but that didn't really rhyme. So I try to come up with something that rhymes, and that's the title I came up with. And you go like, stapled as a disciple? Sorry, that's the best I can get. But it rhymes. Stapled as a disciple. Okay. Anyway, it has meaning. You're stapled as a discipled. Okay. Anyway, so we're gonna talk about being a follower of Christ. Disciple of Christ. And obviously, there are a lot of places in Bible we can find about discipleship, but throughout this series we're gonna focus on one chapter of a Bible, which is Luke chapter 9. In Luke chapter 9, there are some stories where Jesus and his disciples kind of get mingled with each other, and some teaching miracle happened there, and disciples they can ask questions, so there's some interaction. So we're gonna go through chapter 9 of Gospel of Luke, and we'll see what we can learn from it about being a disciple of Jesus Christ. Okay, today is the first part of the series, and we'll go to Luke chapter 9, verse 1 to 6. So it's in your bulletin, it's on the screen, it's in your Bible. Gospel of Luke, chapter 9, verse 1 to 6. All right. I'll just read that passage to you. You can just come along with me. When Jesus had called the 12 together, he gave them power and authority to drive out all demons and to cure diseases. And he sent them out to proclaim the kingdom of God and to heal the sick. He told them, "Take nothing for the journey, no staff, no bag, no bread, no money, no extra shirt. Whatever house you enter, stay there until you leave that town. If people do not welcome you, leave their town and shake the dust off your feet as a testimony against them." So they set out and went from village to village, proclaiming the good news and healing people everywhere. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but I do. I don't know if you ever noticed. I do speak English that a person who was born in Korea and went over to States after junior high and then learn English there and learn U.S. English, kind of English. I speak that kind of English, okay? And maybe some of you, I don't know, you maybe to speak different kinds because there are a lot of different kinds of English out there. I mean, if you live in Korea long enough, then when somebody says, "Hey, you speak English," then it's usually U.S. English. But if you actually travel around the world, there are a lot of different types of English people speak. There are like Mexican English, there Indian English, different types of English people speak all around the world. But among all that, though I speak some sort of English that close to U.S. English, I love British English. UK English is awesome. It's not just awesome, it's awesome. I love that. I love that how they make the sound of English fancier. Every time they speak, they say something, it sounds so Shakespeare type of super awesome style. Even like I was in London for a few days just to travel around, And then I went to McDonald's. Okay, McDonald's is ours, isn't it? It's from U.S. McDonald's, right? But when I went in there at McDonald's in London, the person who works there asked me a question, and that was so romantic. It sounds so romantic. It sounds so stylish. It sounds so awesome. It was like, do you need a change? Something like that. I can't even try, But UK English is awesome. US English is very, nice too. But UK English is like out there. It's super extra awesome. So I just wanted to learn. I even practiced a little bit too, but it was so hard. But one day on my Facebook timeline, somebody shares a post, and when I was looking at that, I was in shock because you can actually speak British just looking at that post. You can't say every word, but some words there. So I'm gonna teach you how to speak British a little bit. No, how to speak British a little bit. Okay? Okay? Anyway, so all you gotta do is just read the spelling, okay? Don't read the word, but read the spelling next to it, okay? You ready? That's awesome. First one, give me first one. It's first one. Water. It's water, right? Water. US English is water, but UK English, all you gotta do is just read the spelling right next to it. Water. Water. Isn't it awesome? Water. Can I have a cup of water? All right, okay. Give me a second one. Night. It's like good night. If I had a bad night. It's a US English, but in it's British English. All you gotta do is just read the spelling next to it. Night. Night. I love that. No, good night. Next one. US English is liar, okay? Liar. You're a liar, right? You're a liar. But British English, UK English, read the spelling right next to it. Liar. Liar. Okay, next one. US English, you read it what, right? What are you doing? What do you do? What kind of person are you? What's your sermon today? But UK English, just read the spelling. What? Next one. This is my favorite. US English, you read it Tuesday, right? Tuesday. What do you do on Tuesday? Tuesday? I'm okay on Tuesday. Tuesday's awesome. Tuesday, right? But UK English, you just read the spelling next to it. It's kind of funny. It's not even, you don't sound the T. You say, Tuesday. Tuesday. Okay, next one. Oh, this is awesome. This guy is actually from UK. Okay, and in English, you read it this way. Harry Potter, right? Harry Potter, right? But UK, they read it Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Okay, next one. That's it. I just thought it was awesome. So next time you get to meet with anybody who's from UK, you just try that, okay? Tuesday, let's go to movie theater, see Harry Potter. Okay. Anyway, the reason I showed you this little thing about how to speak British, is that throughout the series, we're going to talk about discipleship, being a disciple. I don't know what kind of impression you get whenever you hear the term disciple. The thing is, we don't really use the word disciple that much in our everyday life, right? I know that many of us here are teachers. Do you ever call your students disciples? You don't go like, hey, we're going to have a parents, teacher, and disciple meeting. No, you don't really say that, right? How are your disciples? You don't really say. You just call them students. Disciple is not really a everyday term for us, but it actually happens. We can see that term a lot, often in Bible. So, when we hear the word disciple, what kind of impression do we get? Usually, the impression we get whenever we hear the word disciple it's more like a religious type of feeling. It's like discipleship. More like you got to go to church, get some training. You got to follow some certain program that's run by church. That's like usually the impression we get about disciples. But like I said before, disciples actually means students. You are learner. You're learning from a teacher, a master. In this case, you're learning from Jesus, right? Disciple is what this is all about. So we are gonna talk about what really disciple is about throughout the series. But today, from the passage we just read, we can actually see two things that disciples are supposed to do clearly. If you look at verse 2, it says Jesus is sending out his disciples to different villages, and he's commanding his disciples to do two things, very simple and clear. Verse 2, it goes like this. And he sent them out to proclaim the kingdom of God. Okay, that's the first thing disciples got to do. The second thing, to heal the sick. Heal the sick. So what you got to do if you think of yourself as a disciple, then you got to do two things. Number one, you got to proclaim the gospel, proclaim the kingdom of God to the people around you. And number two, you got to heal the people. Okay? The first part, proclaiming the gospel, we can talk about it more. But I think we usually, in church life, we talk about it a lot. So we're going to kind of put that aside. But I like to focus on the second part, which is healing. Heal the sick. When Jesus sends out his disciples to the different villages, he's not just asking them to, hey, you go out and bring people to church. He actually says, you know what? You got to go out there and heal them. Heal them. It's not just about you go and do the street evangelism. No. You got to do healing too. But when you hear the word healing, I don't know about you guys, but for my case, I feel like that's something I'm not really capable of. Because I don't really heal people. I usually get healed by other people, like medical doctors, like my wife, like medical doctors. So healing, when we hear the word healing, it's more about like medical process you got to go through to, get your body to be restored physically, right? So that's, so I was like thinking, just reading this passage, maybe we got to skip this part. All we got to do is just proclaim the gospel. Maybe that's all this is discipleship, sending out disciples to different villages is all about. But that kind of changed my mind. Something happened to me, and that changed my mind a little bit. About 5-6 months ago, I have two daughters. First one is Joa. She's fifth grader in Korean school, and younger one, her name is Jana. She's a third grader in Korean school, and for American age or American grade, you do the math. Anyway, my older one, Joa, she wears glasses. So when she actually first time she got the glasses, we were like, oh, she's getting glasses. That kind of hurt my heart a little bit, but because she's wearing glasses, she's got to go to eye doctor regularly and get eye exam. One day, my wife took my older one, Joa, to eye doctor to take the eye exam, and when she did that, she took my younger one too, Jenna. So three of them actually went to see eye doctor, and my first daughter, Joa, took the eye exam, and it went okay. And then my younger one, Jana, she's, like I said, third grader. She said, Mommy, can I take an eye exam too? So my wife goes, sure, yeah, it doesn't cost us any money. It's just, yeah, sure, why not? And then Jana took the eye exam. You know how eye exam works, right? You take out the spoon and cover your eye, right? And then you see how small letters you can read, right? The smallest letter you can read, that's your score you can get on your eye exam. Anyway, she did that, but something very interesting happened that never happened before. She read the first large letters, that's like, I don't know, then you go what, like 0.002, that kind of big letters, right? And then she read the second biggest one and third biggest one. But after that, she said she can't read the smaller ones. And then the nurse said, it's kind of interesting because she took an eye exam like 6 months before. This kind of big, large change on your vision rarely happens. So she was like curious about it. She was a little concerned about it, which made my wife concerned about that too. So nurse said, maybe Jenna gotta see our eye doctor, because that's why we're there. Anyway, so nurse asked my wife, so would it be okay? So my wife goes, yeah, sure, that's okay. So Jenna was sitting in this chair. I don't know how many of you actually had this experience before, sitting on that super weird chair, and you get this big metal glasses. You can actually try different lenses, right? Anyway, Jenna was doing it, and doctor was trying different lenses there. But funny thing is, my daughter Jenna kept saying that, no, I can't see. I can't see. So my wife, she worried about it more, and nurse got worried about it more. The eye doctor, who was like, what's happening here? And then eye doctor tried something very interesting. He actually showed us a lens, and then to my wife, I'm gonna try this. He didn't really say that out loud. I'm gonna try this, and then put that in, and then he said, okay, Jenna, I just put in super extra lens, and it's gonna make your eyes see better. And then after try that and put that in that super metal glasses, sample glasses, the frame, and then Jenna said, now I can see. Thank you, doctor. Now I can see. But the thing is, it was the same lens. So after the session, Jenna walked away out to the lobby, and doctor said to my wife, okay, Mrs. Kim, these days people wear glasses just for fashion too. So why don't you get your daughter glasses just for fashion wise? You see what's going on here? My daughter Jenna, she so wanted to wear glasses, so she faked her vision. She was like, I can't see that. I can see, Mom. I can't see anything. But this doctor actually caught that, trying the same lens, saying, this is gonna make you see better. Anyway, so on that day, my daughter Jenna got the glasses like this. The thing is, like, first 2 weeks, she was so happy, excited about wearing glasses, so she wore glasses like everywhere. But now she doesn't even know where the glasses are. Like, Jenna, where are your glasses? I don't know. Because wearing glasses, some of you are wearing glasses, right? It's not like super comfortable, right? So she's like, I don't know where the glasses are. But she was so excited in the first few days. So you got to keep this secret between you and me, okay? Don't you ever tell this to my Jenna. Anyway, but when I heard this story, if you think about it, eye doctor, though he did some medical process with my daughter's eyes, but it wasn't really medical thing that he actually did. You know what this doctor actually did? I thought that was very sweet too. He read my daughter's mind. He actually saw my daughter's heart. Not the eye condition, but her heart. That's why this eye doctor said, secretly, he didn't even expose that truth in front of my daughter. He said, okay, Jenna, you can stay in the lobby. I'll have a little talk with your mom. And she shared this information with my wife. He was so gentle and nice. What's going on? He didn't really heal the eyes of my daughter, but he healed my daughter's heart. When we hear the word healing, maybe we think of things like, oh, how can we do medical process for the people who are in a physical need? Yeah, maybe that works too. But you know what? What we can do about this healing is we can heal other people's heart. We can be there whenever they need us. We can hear their stories whenever they need somebody to, hear their stories. We can comfort other people's heart whenever there are people who are in need for that. When Jesus calls us to be his disciples, it's not just about religious process for you to be registered as a person who's on the list of heaven. It is also about, he calls us to be a healer like he was. We got to look around and see people, if there is any need that we can actually help. That's what discipleship is about. If you look at verse 6, it goes like this. Verse 6. So they set out and went from village to village, proclaiming the good news and healing people everywhere. So these disciples did the exactly same thing, they were told to do. But at the same time, I love verse 4 too, 3 and 4. It says, he told them, take nothing for the journey, no staff, no bag, no bread, no money, no extra shirt. Whatever house you enter, stay there until you leave that town. What does it mean? I know you need some stuff, but this time you focus on other people's need, not your own need. Maybe becoming a disciple is about the transition that's got to happen in your life from just looking at your own need, but to looking at other people's needs. That's what healing is all about. That's what disciples do. Recently, I met some people who kind of do this kind of thing. This ministry they're doing is called Love Repaper. Love Repaper. What they do is, I don't know how many of you have seen this, but if you actually drive Korean streets and walk around, there are some elderly people who pick up the recycled paper that's thrown away on the street and gather them together. And what they do is they sell the amount of recycled paper or wasted paper to be recycled, and then they get money for that. So there are elderly people who are doing that. But what happened is I met this guy whose name is Ki Ujin, and he actually was driving one day, and he saw all we do usually, he saw this elderly lady just picking up this wasted paper to be recycled. And then he was thinking, is there anything that I can do to help these people? And what he decided to do is, he's decided to run a ministry that actually buys this wasted paper to be recycled for 10 times more price. So if they can buy the material like that, and with that price, then that's gonna match their income, the elderly people's income, to minimum wage, legal minimum wage here in Korea. Anyway, so he was thinking, how can I do this? Because he needs money to do this, right? So what he decided to do is he collects all the wasted paper. What he does is he makes canvas, and then he recruited some artists who can draw art piece on those canvas and sell the art piece to the people. By doing so, he actually gets some extra money, enough money to help those elderly people who are picking up the wasted papers. So let me show you his picture. This is Kyujin, the guy I met. Next one. This is art piece they actually make. So canvas is made of this wasted paper to be recycled, and he recruited 150 artists. He said that when he actually put that on his Facebook, in 4 hours, there are 150 artists who can help. So these are art pieces. Next one. That's it? Okay. So I was so excited about this ministry. Wow, you're doing awesome work. This is great. This is amazing. This is beautiful. And then I asked a question. So how many elderly people, how many poor elderly people have you helped so far with 150 artists, volunteers, and then they do exhibition twice a year. How many elderly people you've helped so far? And he said, amazing number. He gave me the number 3. He did that for 4 years. 150 artists, volunteers, and they helped 3 elderly people. Why? The gap is still super big. That's why. So I said, that's just, I was not supposed to say this, but I said, 3, that's it? 3! 1, 2, 3, 3! And then he said something amazing to me. We did what we can do. When Jesus sends out his disciples, he said, go out there, proclaim the kingdom of God, and you heal the sick. But he doesn't say, you stay there all the way to the end. You just gotta be there and get the things done, and don't even come back until you don't, get things done. He doesn't say that. He says, you know what? If things don't work out, then just, just leave. Come back. It's okay. It actually says this. If people do not welcome you, leave their town and shake the dust off. I like this expression, shake the dust off. You can't just leave. Come home. What's going on here? Whenever we hear the word discipleship, we think of like, I gotta get these things done. I gotta, be faithful to this ministry. Being faithful to the ministry is awesome. Yeah, you gotta do that. But when we call ourselves disciples, it doesn't mean that you gotta be there to finish everything up. It actually means, hey, you know what? You go there and do what you can do. Go there, do what you can do. Rest is up to the master. That's what's beautiful about discipleship. You're not the master, you're just disciple. Some of us having hard time with ministry that is interested in your hand by, our God. You go like, so struggle, I don't feel like I achieve much. It's okay. Why? Being a disciple means you do what you can do. You do what you can do. Some of us having hard time even to love somebody inside our community. Oh, that person is so just hard to love. I can't just stand this guy anymore. You know what? Do what you can do. Do what you can do. Some of us having just hard time with just following Christ. Oh, Jesus, I can't love my enemy like, you told me to do. Jesus, I can't really humble myself all the time like you asked me to do. But you know what? You do what you can do. Go out there, proclaim the gospel, and heal the people. Help other people out there. But at the same time, do what you can do and move on. And move on. Don't feel too guilty about this. That's okay. We're just disciples. As a pastor, because due to my job, I do meet with different type of people who are in a very difficult situations, like struggling situations in their lives. I do meet with people who are in a deathbed. I do meet with people who are having a hard time with their business. I do meet with people who having relationship issues. There's different type of people who are in very difficult issues. And even nowadays, I get calls from people who are saying, I'm going to commit suicide today. And right before I do that, I'm calling you now. And I say prayer for the person, just for the strength to live just that day. And the next morning, that person gives me a call again. Today I get up, nothing changed. I want to kill myself. But since my job is pastor, I do meet with those type of people. But the thing is, I'm a human being too, and you'll be surprised, though I look like 17 years old, I'm only like 30, 37, 38, which means I don't have a super amount of experience to, meet with those people and help them. So sometimes I actually pray to God, like, God, I don't think there's anything I can do about these people. So I shared this issue that I have with my dad. My dad is a pastor too. And so he said something very interesting. He said, you know what, once you get ordained as a pastor, you are 60 years old. You gotta see yourself like that. So I was thinking, maybe that's why Pastor John has all gray hair already. And I just always wish, I wish I had a look like, Dr. Penlin, Gandalf figure look, so that at least, you look like you know everything, right? Anyway, but I do have a hard time because I look at myself. I'm young. I'm inexperienced. I don't know if there's anything I can do to help these people. So I say prayer like, God, there's nothing I can do. I wish I had a power, to the people, who are in the financial need. Okay, let there be money. Then money, right? Anybody who's having a hard time with their health, or like, God, just be healed, and then getting healed, So I pray like, God, give me that kind of power. Then this whole thing will be way more easier, right? Much easier. So one day I was like saying the same prayer. Jesus, it just doesn't work this way, It's hard. It's just hard for me to do this. I wish I had that kind of power. And then I felt like Jesus was whispering to my heart. He said, if you had that kind of power, you're Jesus. You're the master. But I call you to be my disciple. When I am insufficient, He becomes sufficient for me. Discipleship, becoming a disciple, following Jesus Christ is not about things to be done. It is about Jesus to be known to you and to people around you. The whole point of becoming a disciple is every day you get up. It's not like, what should I do? What should I do? You do the things on the list. No. Maybe you can do that, but more than that, being a disciple is about knowing who Jesus is, who He really is in your life every day. Yes, Lord, you are my master. I'm only a disciple. I'll do what I can do, and I'll leave rest up to you. I'll just follow. When Jesus invites us to be his disciple, He says one invitation. I love this. He said, if you want to follow me, you got to deny yourself, take up your own cross, and follow me. There's no to-do list. Two things: deny yourself, pick up the cross, and follow Him. Why? Because when we do that, we can see Him from the back. Yeah, that's Jesus I'm following. That's Jesus I'm following. So, go, help others. But every day, know that who's your really master is. Throughout this series, I asked Yongwon to sing a song for us. Today, I asked him prepare a song for us. And this is kind of like Christian church-related song, but it's not really a worship song. But I hope that the words from this song may comfort your heart, and maybe you can be a comforter, yourself to other people too. And as you listen to the song, I want you to say your prayers and see your life reflect. Jesus, you're my master. Am I living really my life as your disciple? Am I helping others? Am I proclaiming the gospel to others? But more than that, do I acknowledge you as my master, a person to follow every day?